Hey guys, my name is Savannah. We're here with occupational therapy with Creighton University. Nice to see you guys.
I'm Noah. I'm Joe.
And I'm Madison, and today we are going to be doing a super fun activity to learn some brand new letters that a lot of times are really difficult to first learn, which is okay. But today we are going to learn about diver letters. And diver letters are just letters that dive down and then swim over to finish. So these are letters P, R, N, M, H, and B. And so our main focus is going to be on learning how to make those letters in super fun ways. So today to start, we're going to warm up our hands and learn how to make letters in Play-Doh. So everyone is going to need a little piece of Play-Doh, and I have some of mine here, and everyone else has theirs as well. And you don't need a super big piece. And what I'm going to do is take my Play-Doh and I'm going to mush it down to make a flat surface with my Play-Doh. Just like this. And really get those fingers working. And you can push it down as hard as you want and make it as big as you want. And then when you feel like it's flat enough, you can take a pencil or a pen and we're gonna poke little holes into the Play-Doh to make letters. And to start today, we can just make letters that we use to spell our name. So it doesn't have to be these diver letters yet. We'll get into that in just a little bit. So to start, just take your pen or your pencil, and hopefully it will have a little rounded piece at the end so that you can poke the holes. And I'm going to start making the letter M because my name is Madison and that's the first letter of my name. So I'm just going to start making tiny little holes in my Play-Doh to make the letter M. And it's okay if it looks a little goofy. Sometimes it's kind of hard to make letters when it's in a different surface than we're used to. Everyone go ahead and just make different letters in your Play-Doh. So here's my M. And Joe, it looks like he's making a J and an O. And Noah's making his letters. So go ahead and just make as many letters as you'd like for just about 5 minutes. And you can take your Play-Doh when you have a letter, and if you want to start over, you can just crumple it up and squish it in your hands and make different motions with it just to play with it. And you can even roll it into different shapes just to get your hands nice and warm for the handwriting that we're going to do today. And then once you have it in a shape that you like, you can smush it back down and start again. So you guys can go ahead and do this for 5 minutes or so and just have fun with it. You don't have to do anything super serious, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So you guys can go ahead and pause the video here and keep working for another 5 minutes. All right, and then now, once everyone has finished putting their Play-Doh to the side and their pencils to the side, we are going to start learning about diver letters. So, as I kind of said before, diver letters are the letters P, R, N, M, H, and B. And so these letters are letters that swim down and then they come up and over to make the letters. And so sometimes these can be kind of tricky to learn at first, which is why we're going to spend today's activity just focusing on those letters. So what we're going to do to start, the only thing that you're going to need is your pointer finger and your desk. Just any space on your desk, any pointer finger, left or right, it doesn't matter. And what you're going to do is after your teacher shows you how to write these letters on the board, and she writes them all up so you can see a nice example, you're going to practice just writing them on your desk with your finger. So just taking your finger, you'll just trace. So I'm going to do the letter P, and I'm going to go down, and then I come up and swim over to make a letter P. And so you can just go ahead and practice making those letters on your desk with your pointer finger and just pretend that it's making a little mark on your desk, even though there's nothing there. But you can just practice these motions and do each letter. So again, you're going to do letters P, R, N, M, H, and B. And so just go ahead and take about another 5 minutes or so and practice tracing all of those letters on your desk. And if you need any help, make sure to tell Miss Peitzmeyer and she'll come over and make sure to give you some help. And again, just try your best. These letters can be kind of tricky at first, but we're going to keep practicing them throughout today's activities. And then we will also practice them and review them in the weeks coming. So go ahead and spend some time practicing those, just tracing like you can see Savannah and Noah are doing. And so go ahead and do that for about another 5 minutes. And so you can pause the video right here to keep practicing. And then once everyone has finished wrapping up writing those letters, practicing tracing them on your desk, we're going to actually stand up and move around a little bit to practice these letters. So if everyone can stand up from their desk.
Oh, I gotta move my table back. Hold on.
Yeah, we might all have to adjust too. So everyone just take a minute and adjust so that you have plenty of space. Make sure that your arms length apart from all of your friends so that you have plenty of room to move. And now we're going to do an activity that's going to practice making these letters that we've talked about with our bodies. So, like I said, these are called diver letters. And when I think of diving, I think of swimming. So some of the things, the movements that we're going to do are going to be like swimming. So you might feel kind of silly because we're obviously not in water, but just try your best and just have fun with it. And we're all going to demonstrate how to make these letters using our bodies, okay? So to start, we're going to do the letter P. So everyone, we'll take our hands and we'll put them up like a shark, and you swim up to the top to make your long piece, the long line in the P. And then we'll come over to the side. So then you dive over to the side and you come down and you connect back with the long line that you just made. And so some of these letters, it might be a little bit tricky to form perfectly with your body, but just think of the motion that you practice when you were writing on your desk with your fingers. So we'll try that again. We're going to dive all the way up, swim to the top, make that long line, and then dive over and down to make your P. Good. All right, now we're going to move on to the next letters. So let's go ahead and make the letter R. And this is going to be a lowercase r. So this one has a tiny little line. So we're not going to swim all the way up to the top. We're just going to start kind of right here. And so we're just going to kind of swim to make our little line. And then we just dive over to make the little tip. And that's our letter R. So we'll go ahead and do that one more time. So you just start right here in the middle, since that line is a little bit shorter, and just swim up and over, just like that. All right, next we're going to do the letter M. And so this one is also a little bit smaller than that letter P. Our line isn't as tall, so we're going to start here in the middle again. And we swim up, and then we go down, but then we come back up, and we go down again with our tiny little wave. So this one might feel a little goofy because you're going up and down and then up again. So go ahead and start in the center with your little line, and you swim up and you dive down, and then you come back up and then back down. I think that one's pretty fun. What do you guys think?
That was my favorite one so far.
Yeah, that one was my favorite too. All right, next we're going to do the letter N. And this one's kind of similar to the letter M, but it just doesn't have that extra dive up and over. So we're going to start in the middle again, make our little line to swim up, and then we just dive down. Good. All right, we'll start in the middle again, and we go up and then dive down. Good. All right. Next, we're going to do the letter H. So this one has a long line again at the top that we have to make. So we're going to swim up pretty high this time. So we're going to swim all the way up. And then we come down a little bit so that we can make our little hump to go over. Good. All right, we'll do that one more time. So we swim up to make our long line. And then we come down a little bit to make our little hump to dive down and finish our letter H. All right, we have one more diver letter to do.
Woo!
And this one also has a really long line at the top. This is our letter B. So we're going to swim up, and then we'll come back down a little bit and dive over to connect our B at the bottom. All right, go ahead and try that one more time. We'll swim up to make our long line, and then we come down to dive over and connect our B at the bottom of our line that we just made.
Guys, remember that B's dive to the right too. If you dive to the left, you're making a D. So make sure you're diving to the right to make the B.
That's right, Noah. And B's and D's are really tricky letters to learn at first. So if you are having any trouble making these letters, you can tell Miss Peitzmeyer and she can help you. And we will continue to practice those letters because they are really tricky. So you guys can go ahead and keep practicing these letters using your bodies for however long you'd like, maybe another 5 minutes or so. Just keep moving around and practicing swimming up and diving down. And you can pause the video here to work for a little bit longer. And then when we come back, we're going to do our wrap-up activity. So when you come back, everyone can go ahead and just sit back in their seats. And hopefully we feel nice and warm and we've got all of our wiggles out.
That was fun.
That was fun, wasn't it? Okay. To wrap up today's activity with diver letters, we are going to all go around and share one diver letter that we learned today. And maybe it can be your favorite diver letter that you learned, or one that you thought was really fun to make with your body or to trace with your finger. And so we're all going to go around and share one of the letters and then think of one word that starts with that letter. And then when you share your word that you thought of, take your hand like a little shark and chomp over to your friend so that they can share. And everyone will have a turn to say one thing that they learned today. So I'll go ahead and start. So one letter that I learned today was the letter P. And the word that I think of that starts with P is pizza.
Ooh.
And so I'm going to go and chomp over to Savannah, and then she's going to share.
Well, my favorite letter was an H. And one word that starts with an H is house. So I'm going to go over and chomp to Noah.
Boom, boom, boom. All right. My favorite letter was the letter R. I like it just because it has that little dive, not too far all the way down. And one word that starts with the letter R is the color red. Now I'm going to send it down to Joe.
All right, my favorite letter was the letter M, just because I like making the two humps. It's pretty easy, and it makes me think of M&Ms, which are like one of my favorite candies. So you do the two M's right in a row to make M&Ms. And then the shark can go down and eat the M&Ms.
Yum. Those are my favorite too. All right. Everyone can go around and share the one letter that they learned today that they thought was super fun or that was their favorite, and one word that starts with that letter. And then go ahead and chomp to your friends, and everyone can go ahead and do that. So you can pause the video here to finish up the wrap-up activity. And then after that, that's all we have for you today with diver letters. So I hope that you all enjoyed learning about these fun letters. And if it was a little challenging at times, that's okay, because these can be a little bit tricky. But I hope that you had fun moving around and practicing writing these. And you will have a little worksheet that you can take home to show your mom and dad so that they can help practice with you too. So we will see you next week, and I hope that you all have a lot of fun.
Bye.
Bye, guys.